everybody, this is Rose of Sharon, and I'm back again with another series review. Um, per the request of my friend, I watched The Boys, which is based off of a comic series. I had never heard of The Boys before, but since I am a huge fan, well, if you know me well, you're probably well aware of this, but I adore superheroes. Always have, always will. That's never changed. That was actually my first real exposure to comics. That was Wonder Woman. She's still my favorite. I still adore Wonder Woman. She'll always be my go-to favorite superheroine of all time, just because, let's face it, Wonder Woman kicks ass and takes names. And I'm not a feminist, but I love her, and I just think that she's just stellar and everything, and she's just so incredible. But I'm not gonna wax poetic about Wonder Woman, although I would love to. But The Boys is a very it's dark in many aspects, and it really deconstructs superheroes in and of themselves, and it has lots of very intriguing messages. Plus, it really points out a lot of the flaws and faults in, well, capitalism for one thing. I'm a patriot. Please don't hate me, but capitalism in and of itself has flaws, but it's better than communism. So let's just keep capitalism, please. Despite the fact that, yeah, it's ruled by greed. It talks about just misogyny, sexism, which is very interesting. It's a very pertinent topic. The whole Me Too thing is kind of getting on my nerves because I'm a humanist, and yeah, I think it's kind of annoying that the SJWs think otherwise. Don't flame me. But yeah, I mean, everybody has a right to say what they want, but it's just so confusing. It's just like with Nora Roberts and Self-Made Man, like I stated before. It's so very bewildering, especially for men. Men don't know how to act anymore. It's just due to the fact that what really shifted the paradigm was when women went to work, and just that whole pattern of women should stay at home, raise the kids, do the cleaning, baking, and I mean, to some extent, yes, it's still very much a part of quote unquote women's work, but it's in some aspects there are certain things that a woman can do better than a man. I mean, I'm not sexist, but it's scientifically proven, actually. So I'm backing it. I'm backing the evidence with science and biology. So yes, this is truth. These are facts. This is based on years of data that has been accumulated over time. I can verify it. If you want me to, I can go online. I can show you the results because the results are there. That's where I base a lot of my logic. But this series is really quite interesting, and it also gets into cultism, which, being a Christian, the episode featuring Ezekiel, the cult leader, ooh, that hit some nerves. And I thought, oh, God, please, no, you don't use scripture that way, and Jesus would never have wanted that, and this is not what he preached, and, ooh, yeah. I thought, this is exactly what you do not do with religion. You don't bastardize it like that. It's not what it was intended for. Religion itself, though it gets a bad name, is ultimately meant to, for creator and creation to work together. I mean, I've always believed that, because you can't just put the Almighty in a box. And that whole idea of the soups being chosen by God, I thought, oh my, that's, whoa. Talk about very controversial, but very interesting. It didn't upset me. I just thought, holy crap, they are getting into a subject that nobody would even touch. And of course they get into some ethical disputes here with this compound that's called Compound V, And oh yeah, this series is really quite exceptional. I fell in love with it. And normally I wouldn't like anything that's done by Mr. Rogen. I don't really care for Seth Rogen. I think his humor is really too scatological and very body, and yeah, I'm not a fan of that type of humor. I mean, yeah, innuendos all well and good, but when it's stated outright and not done in a witty way, you think, ugh, I'm disgusted. But there were some things that were more worth. It's like watching Tokyo shock in a way because it was meant to shock, and I thought, oh yeah, I see his point. But as far as this is concerned, I actually think that Seth deserves a ton of recognition because he did a absolutely phenomenal job with The Boys. And in The Boys, it's not the superheroes of Vought that, well, they are focus, yes, but they go into a lot of their backstories, and they in themselves are very intriguing, and Homelander especially, oh boy, he's a piece of work, but yeah, I love to hate him, and for good reason, but you see there's some human particle of him. Yeah, I'm not going to go into that because it'll be a spoiler alert, but I loved all the characters. Particularly, I adore Kimiko. She became one of my favorites. I love her so much, even though she's very, very, very damaged, and it reveals as to why, and that's probably why I like her. So, same thing with Butcher. Butcher is a character that's like a diamond. He's broken, but he's got a big heart, and he wishes the best for everybody, and he wants to help where he's needed, but he carries around resentment, anger, fury, bitterness, and I'm not going to go into why, but it's really quite intriguing, and I just think, oh my God, I love you, because he's the vigilante type. I've always liked the vigilante type, the badass Clint Eastwood type of mentality. I think, oh my gosh, you are the most macho man. However, you have vulnerability. I can relate to this as a human being because all of us like to pretend like we know what we're doing, when in reality we don't. We go like a feather. We're like feathers in the wind. We go where the wind takes us, and this actually was very revelatory in that. But immediately, my favorite character became Starlight, and I can relate to her. She's a very human character, but she's a soup. And we get to learn about her, and I thought I want to cosplay as her because I adore her costume because it's just outstanding. And as far as my screen name goes, back in the DeviantArt days, it would really be appropriate because I used to be known as Hikari-chan, which in Japanese, Hikari means light. So I'm not going to give away her power, but I think I kind of did a little bit. And I thought, oh yeah, this is the ultimate cosplay, and I love her character and what she goes through, especially when she's inducted into Vought with the Seven, with the Deep in particular. I thought, oh God, but actually over time, at first you think that the Deep is a real douchebag, but given all the episodes of first season, you begin to see that he's just unbelievably unlucky, and he really isn't that bad as a superhero. Honestly, he's not the worst among the Seven. Oh no, not by a long shot. And then you get to see who is really at the top of the corporation, and you would think that Homelander is the one that calls the shots. Oh no, it's Miss Stillwater, and her manipulation of Homelander is sick. I mean, really, you think, oh jeez. I mean, this gets into some really intricate dynamics when it's concerned with the psyche, and it's fascinating. I mean, This is so well written. It's just it's brilliant. It's absolutely incredible, and I love it. And I have to say, I'm looking at Seth in a different way now, a different light. Is it's just one of the best things I've ever seen in a long time, and I love it. And I just like the deconstruction of the hero in and of himself or herself, and how these superheroes are actually quite relatable as human beings, given their foibles, given their flaws. And of course, it talks about a lot of different aspects, given politics, religion, um, power, corruption due to power. Yeah, there are quite a few things that this covers in a short amount of time, but it's already, since it did so well through Amazon, and Amazon by far their quality is bar none. They were already lit for a season two, and my friend did a little bit of expose on Black Noir, one of the characters, because I really like Black Noir. Yeah, the redundancy is funny in and of itself, and just the fact that he's there, he's all business. He says nothing, and that's one of the many charms of his character, and his mystery just reels you in. But yeah, I love the characters. We don't really get to see Lamplighter, which I'm kind of wondering about Lamplighter. But it's just like a hodgepodge of DC and Marvel characters. If you're a fan of comic books, yeah, it's much more adult oriented. It's not for kids. It is dark in many aspects, very, very, very ominously so. And it is probably the best written TV show. It is cinematic quality. It's beautifully done, and the characters are just out of sight. Just incredible. I really, really highly recommend it for anybody who's intrigued with just the whole idea of bringing a superhero down to earth, and just what it would be like if you get to see the everyday life of a superhero. Yeah, it brings you into their world, and sometimes it's pretty pretty crappy, and it just shows the reality, not the adulation, the exoneration, the adoration that comes with honest to goodness hero worship, and it just rips it just rips that one a new anus. Let me just put it that way, for lack of being polite and being direct and straightforward. But there's no other way to say it other than that. Yeah, it turns that completely on its ear. But I think that's the whole draw. I think that's what makes the series absolutely phenomenally done. It's astronomical, and I can't recommend it more than what I do. So that's all I got to say about The Boys. I'm looking forward to season 2 now. Till next time, live long and prosper. Ciao tutti.